Safety check for safety sallies. Empty mag, empty chamber, empty there, empty mag. All is well. Now let me start off by saying this, currently, at this very moment, out of all my guns, not that I have that many, is my absolute favorite. A lot of reasons why. It's got a lot going for it and hardly anything that I dislike about it. First thing I ever noticed when I picked this thing up, this fits my hand like a glove. I know I say that a lot about a lot of other guns, that they feel nice and that, you know, they fill the hand well and everything. This is just like it was molded specifically to my hand. And I have pretty average size hands. I don't have real big hands, I don't have little hands. I've got pretty average size hands. And it just sucks it right in there, and it's like a molded piece of clay. I mean, it's hard to top as far as that. Everything is right where it needs to be. Slide release, slide stop, however you pronounce it. Hammer, trigger length goes right in the middle of my pad of my first finger there, forefinger I should say. Just excellent ergonomics, feel, everything. And the balance of it. A lot of guns that, you know, compared to say just, you know, comparing Ruger to Ruger, you have your Mark series, Mark II, Mark IIIs. They have, especially like the 2245 has a really heavy top end because that's where all your metal is, and you have a polymer lower, and it's just all feeling like it's hanging over this way. It's all top heavy. This has an aluminum slide. It's a blowback action, of course, being 22, but it's a aluminum slide, a lot lighter weight with a polymer lower. Totally balanced feel. Totally different. And it just, I mean, you can just about balance it on your middle finger right there. It's so evenly distributed with weight and everything. It's just wonderful. That helps with a lot of things. Mainly, you know, depending on what you're using it for, mainly for me, as far as just plinking or practice, makes it such a wonderful to shoot. And again, the grips, part of what helps this thing so comfortable is these interchangeable grips. It comes with 2 in the box. I don't know if they're going to make any other different sizes later. These grips come right off, and they're kind of on there firm. The first time you take them off, it's really hard to get them off. But this is the larger one. And at first I thought I liked the smaller one, but I put this larger one on there, and it's just, oh my gosh. Cannot get over how well this feels. I mean, it's almost like a built-in Hogue handall grip, just molded into it, minus the finger grooves or anything. And it doesn't have the typical Ruger bastard file texture on the grip. I mean, this is rubber or some kind of a weird soft plastic of some sort. It's either a hard rubber or soft plastic. But it's got a little bit of ribbing here on the front and a little bit on the back, and that's it. I mean, it's just, oh gosh. Oh. So, as far as the manual of arms on this, if you have a Ruger P series of any sort, like P345, P95, P90, P89, yada yada yada, same exact manual arms up except for the safety, which is and isn't, because it's a frame mounted safety. It's, you know, it's at a different location, but it's still, if you have the slide mounted safeties on the P series, it's down for safe and up for fire. I'll get back to that later. That's one issue I have with it. But as far as the double action, single action trigger, because this is first trigger pull is double action when you have it decocked. You cock it back here, your safety is a decocker, drops the hammer safely. You can have a live round in there, does not go off. And then after your first trigger pull, it goes into single action mode, and you have a lot shorter, lighter trigger pull. First heavy double action trigger pull it's about, oh gosh, I would say at least 10 pounds. It's pretty heavy and pretty long. So it's not going to accidentally go off if you are, for whatever reason, carrying this, or you have it something, you know, your nightstand gun or whatever. But it is still, I mean, I can shoot this accurately, and with this single action trigger being as light and short as it is very easy to shoot very accurately. So the trigger is a wonderful deal on there. Reliability wise, I know it's usually a gripe with rimfires. They're notorious for being very picky about ammo. Not this guy. I can shoot just about anything in standard or high velocity in this thing. I haven't put any stingers through there just because I really haven't felt a need to or desire to. I'm not real big on those. But I have fired everything from the cheap crapo bulk Winchester and Federal, those 500 round bulk packs, all the way up to mini mags, Agia Super Maximum, Agia, what was the other one? Interceptors, Remington. I fired a lot of different ammo through this thing. The only issue I've ever had has always been with the ammo itself. Never had any light strikes, never had any stovepipes, never had any failure to feed or failure to eject whatsoever. I can't even say that about some centerfire pistols I've had, including Rugers. This one has never jammed. The only time I ever have any kind of a feed issue is if you have an underpowered round, and it's almost always with the bulk ammo, because you can actually hear it when it goes off. When the slide, when it works back, you can feel it not go all the way back. It'll be enough to kick out the spent round, but not far enough to pick up the next round from the magazine. And so what you'll get is you'll feel kind of a light recoil. I mean, not that this has a lot of recoil, but you'll feel it kind of haphazardly kick out the round, and then when you go to pull the trigger for the next round, it just clicks. So all you gotta do is just rack it again and you're good to go. That is it. It's the only thing it's ever done, and it's not the fault of the gun, that's strictly the ammo, because I've had that with any other semi-auto 22. So, and with the sights on there, I don't know if you just noticed, but this is another thing. The Ruger is, a lot of time on their pistols, they have an annoying habit of using really tiny dots for the rear sight. Not so on this one. This one actually has some really nice, big, bright white sights on there. They're really easy to pick up, and they're windage and elevation adjustable on this too. So you can really dial this in exactly where you want it. This one for me, a lot of it I think is just me. I had to drift it over to the right and everything because I was shooting a little bit to the left, but as far as elevation, it was right on. And yeah, it's just, those are great sights. Versatility wise, again, you can use this for a lot of different things. Say what you will about the effectiveness of 22 long rifle for defense, but you can legitimately use this as a concealed carry option. It is very lightweight, against only 17.5 ounces. It's compact lengthwise. The grip is equal in size to the SR9C. I mean, the overall dimensions of it are exactly the same almost. You put them side by side, they're like almost clones of each other in a way. And the width of it, I mean, it's only about, well, I think they claim it's something like 1.25 inches, but again, I think they do, like when their factory measurements are, I think they're going by the widest point on here, which would be the safety levers, which, by the way, are ambidextrous. And other than that, it's more like closer to 1 inch, maybe 1.1 inches. But very, very good as a concealed carry option, especially considering it is so reliable, especially when you put quality ammo through here. You put in CCI mini mag solids, 40 grain solids, or CCI velocitors, you've got an effective piece there with low, pretty much zero recoil, light trigger action. If you're somebody that has weak hand strength, this is not hard to actuate the slide at all. I mean, it's just, I mean, how many other guns can you do with your pinky and your thumb? I mean, it's just incredibly easy to operate. The tabs on the mags, it's another thing on here. The magazines on here, you don't have to buy some little aftermarket Mag Buddy or Up Lula loader for these. It already has these nice little tabs on the sides here. You can just grab those, you just put it on your counter, push it down there, and you just drop the rounds in. I mean, it just makes loading these things so much easier. I can burn through so much ammo so quickly at the range. And it's a good thing that 22 long rifle is so cheap, or at least it was up until recent events in the big run on ammo. But big, huge plus. I know that the older ones, the Mark series, they had little round dots, and they were kind of work, but these are actually got like little grooves in them, and they're kind of molded so you can just use your fingers, and it doesn't hurt you. You don't get sore fingers after so many 100 rounds or anything. It's just really nice for that. Another thing also, it comes with, in the box, it comes with 2 magazines, and it has pinky extensions and flat bases on both. Depends on what you like. Myself, I like this pinky extension because, again, average size hands. The flat base was just barely, like, it was like about halfway up my pinky, And you know, just for that extra little, gosh, about 1/8 of an inch there on hanging off the edge there, the pinky extension on this is just, it's worth it to me. It doesn't do anything as far as concealability. It doesn't change anything as far as how it handles or anything. It's just great that they include that in there. But if you have smaller hands and you like the flat ones, they're in there for you. It also comes with this nice little zipper pouch for storage and everything, but I never use that. I have a gun safe. I just keep it there. As far as the field strip on there, really easy. Again, this is a blowback action, and this is pretty much based on, it's hard to not see that it's almost a direct copy of the Valter P22. It's pretty much the same design, just improved upon. But one thing that they improved upon is the field strip on there. Not that the Valter was really hard to take apart, but this one, see on the Valter, it had 2 little tabs on the side you would pull down this way to release it. But this one, you have a little tab there you pull down like that. Then you can pull it straight back, up, forward, comes right off. There's your recoil spring and guide rod, and that's it. That's all there is to field strip it. Just run your patches through there in your brush, clean it out, wipe off your feed rim, wipe off all your slide parts there, and then reassemble. Reassembling is real easy. Just there's a hole in the front here underneath the barrel. You insert the plug side of your guide rod in there, and the spring is kind of flared out here towards the end. That goes into this little recess in the slide, like so. And then when you push this back together, you have to push down a little bit to overcome the spring tension of the hammer itself. Put your tab back up, and you're good to go again. Really, really easy. I mean, this is just, even if you're not looking at this as a defensive option, if it's just a plinker for you, making it easy to clean is a huge bonus. Well, the Ruger Mark series, it's a doable takedown process, but it's way more complicated. It's a royal pain in the butt. It was one of my least favorite things about that whole gun. So, big plus for that. And again, comparing it to the Mark series, the 2245, the Mark III, those guns. This, even as a plinker, not talking concealed carry or anything like that, just as a plinker, this is only 17.5 ounces. You can shoot all day long with this thing, and your hands don't get tired. You don't get, you know, sore arms or whatever. I'm not saying everybody's weak like me or whatever, but compared to the Mark series, those are the 30+ ounces. They weigh almost twice as much as this thing does. Even if you get past the, the weird balance issue on the Mark series with a really heavy top end, some of the ones have the metal frame and they're a little more balanced, but this, it's lightweight and balanced. It's just all day long, as much ammo as you can afford to shoot through that thing, just heavenly. It's just, oh, can't get over it. Now, all that good stuff, gotta have some negatives. I only got 3 things. One of them, as all Rugers go, safeties, lawyer safeties, stuff that they just put in there to satisfy certain states and avoid lawsuits. Of course, you have your goofball read instruction manual before using firearm. Duh. And you have a magazine disconnect safety. Make you have a dead trigger when you have the magazine out. It does not click or anything. You can't even pull back the hammer on this thing. Once you have it in there, easy. So, another thing is, as you're seeing right here, getting the magazines to seat, at least on mine, and it does it with both magazines. You have to really push it up in there. It's not like a lot of them I can just push it in with my finger and go. This one, you have to either put it, that last little bit there, you got to put some force into it, or you have to pop it in there. Another alternative would be to just kind of pinch it together like this and just click it. Now the only problem is if you do this smacking on the base plate trying to seat it in there, when you do that, a lot of the time the top round will kick up and then you can't get your first round to chamber. So I always just either stick it up, push it up with my thumb, or when I put it in there, I'll just pinch it like this and it seats it. Doesn't require any force or anything. You're not going to break any plastic parts that way. So kind of annoying. It's a quirk, but again, it's not a huge issue for me. And the other thing here, I know I keep popping these mags in and out. Another thing I really just don't get, blows my mind, I don't understand what their thinking was in this at all, but backward safety. Why, Ruger? Why? Of all the wonderful things you've done with this design, why did you make the safety backwards? Every freaking gun with a frame-mounted safety, just about every single one out there, including Ruger's very own guns. We're talking like the SR9. This is an SR22. You would think the same series of guns would have the same manual of operations with the trigger safety, or not trigger, the frame-mounted safety. Nope. Not on this one. It's down for safe and up for fire. All the SR series pistols, the SR9, SR9C, SR40, SR40C, they're all down for fire, up for safe. Completely bass-ackwards. Don't get it. I don't know why they did that. They could have just as easily stuck with the slide-mounted safety, since this was pretty much a copy of the Valter P22, which has a slide-mounted safety. They could have just as easily stuck with that and made this 100% the manual of arms of the P-series pistols of Ruger's own line, which would be, again, the P345 or P95. Don't know why they didn't do that. They kind of crossed the two together, and then they got this weird abomination of a safety. It is easy to actuate, and it is ambidextrous, so that does have it going in its favor. Has these nice little ridges on there, so it makes it easy to just sweep with your thumb. It's not stiff or anything. But my God, why? Just, I don't get it. It's just one of those weird things that they just had to have on there just to keep it from being damn near perfect. That's it though. 3 things. The goofball, magazine disconnect, and oh, by the way, the loaded chamber indicator on this is another thing that Ruger did wonderfully right for once. It's a peephole, just like Smith & Wesson. Let's see if I can get a light on there, if you can see down in there. If you can see brass through that hole, you're loaded. That's how a magazine or a loaded chamber indicator should be. It should not be this giant freaking tab flag thing sticking out of the front of your top of your slide there. It's just, that's absurd. This is how you do it, guys. This is how you're supposed to do it. Simple, nothing to break. Other than that, though, I mean, they did all this other goofball stuff, with the, read the manual because you're too stupid to, read instructions. And magazine disconnect. I mean, like you're going to be using this in a law enforcement setting. I don't think these are going to be issued to any police departments, but whatever. Other than that, lawyer safeties, backward safety, and seat in the mags is a little weird. Other than that, perfect. Love it. Oh, and real quick, Picatinny rail. I don't know why you'd want to put a laser or a light on there, but if you're just gung-ho about that and you have it on your carry gun and you want to use this for a practice trainer or whatever, hell, if you want to use it for a nightstand gun, if you're just very recoil sensitive, there you go. So, anyways, Ruger SR22, love it. So, for what it's worth, it's my 2 cents on that. Thanks for watching.